Hello, my name is Joseph, and this is the Paldea Draft League. A draft league is where a group of people come together and pick Pokemon one by one, and we'll use them each week in an 8-week period, kind of like a sports team. I am the coach of the Stockton Porygons, and this is kind of just going over my team. I guess first off, so this was my team for season 1 of the PDL. It was just kind of one that I wanted to use with like a strategy, just being built like in the middle of the draft, with starting with Halucha. Yeah, this was season 2 draft. This time I had a little bit more of a plan. Drafting Sneasler because I am aware of how good it is, and picking Pokemon to support it, like Cresselia and Cinderace and such. I do have Deoxys Speed and Mudsdale both here because I originally drafted Deoxys and then I swapped it for Mudsdale around week 3, I think. I did not finish this draft because I had to drop out for personal matters. But let's move on to what I drafted for this season. So for this season, I joined both the singles and the VGC League because they started VGC League and I wanted to try. I'll first be going over my singles league. So I did not want Great Tusk as my first pick. My original plan was Landorus Incarnate, because you see by my second pick, I wanted a sand team. In my previous seasons, I've gone for semi-rain and drafted like some sand in season 1. So I figured, why not go down the weather route once again. So I wanted Landorus because originally Sheer Force Landorus was banned, and so I figured might as well draft Landorus with Sand Force and Sand because it's probably the best Sand Pokemon high ranked. But it was drafted right before. I guess I could have gotten it because it was dropped during grace period, but I figured I might as well stick with Great Tusk. Great Tusk is actually pretty good for my team because it is ground fighting, so it does not get hurt from the sand, and the fighting type in general I think is pretty good because it could hit like 5 types versus effective ground as well, so they share some mutual weaknesses and stuff, but yeah. It's pretty good HP, pretty good attack, pretty good defense, okay speed, and very horrible special attack, special defense, but most of the time it's just gonna be like hyper offense, but also gives me rapid spin, it gives me stealth rocks if I want it, I could set up with bulk up, and down here are just usually the items that I've seen and I've went through on this Smogon page. Booster energy paired with photosynthesis. Give me a speed boost if I want to. Give me an attack boost. Leftovers just for health, extra health, and boots to get around hazard. This Pokemon I'll probably bringing to most weeks, just because it's like very strong, and could hit many for like neutral damage, even super effective damage. So for my next pick, like I said, I wanted sand, so I decided to draft Tyranitar. I drafted Tyranitar season 1. It did not do well for me, but I figured might as well redeem it. Someone did complain during the draft, like I could have gotten like, why did I draft Tyranitar second? Because I could have drafted other like sand users for sand abusers, before I drafted Tyranitar. I could have drafted Hippowdon, but I just wanted Tyranitar, mainly because I wanted to redeem it from season 1. Yeah, so Rock Dark, not a great defensive typing, because like there's a lot of common weaknesses like Bug, Fairy, Fighting is 4 times ground, but its offensive typing is great. Rock hits many like Ice, Bug, Flying that Great Tusk can't really deal with. The Dark typing is just good in general to get around Psychic types and such. It's a good defensive typing as well. Obviously, being a pseudo-legendary, you get great stats. Its speed is not good, but like, it's not usually a speedy Pokemon anyways. Leftovers for health, choice band, just if you want damage, Lumberry to get around status, like usually Burn is annoying. Oh, I forgot to say, Great Tusk. So these are usually viable items, but like that doesn't mean it's all I could run. I've personally ran Assault Vest Great Tusk before, and it was okay. Like obviously, it's base special defense is gonna be a problem, but Assault Vest can kind of get around that. But I'm usually gonna be running these items. You could run Choice Scarf, could run Choice Band. I get Ice Spinner just for like flying types as well if I need it, but I obviously have other Pokemon to deal with that. Tyranitar, I believe people have run Dragon Dance in the past. I mean, Choice Scarf maybe. Assault Vest because Sand boost the special defense and Assault Vest boost as well. It's pretty much unkillable. It can be killed, but you know what I mean. Next I drafted Mamoswine. So I wanted like another Pokemon that's not weak in sand or like can't be damaged by sand. And I decided on Mamoswine. I love Mamoswine. I've used it like quite a bit in singles, living in VGC, but I don't know why I picked it, honestly. I think I just wanted it. And its ice typing, it's pretty good as well. Because Tyranitar, not Tyranitar, Great Tusk can't hit flying types and grass types all that well. And Mamoswine can deal with the grass types. It's weak to grass, but it's pretty fast, 80 space speed, I'm pretty sure. And its defenses and HP are good enough that it can probably live 1. So yeah, Nevermind Ice, Soft Sand, and Assault Vest are the usually viable items that I've seen on Smogon and all that. Nevermind Ice boosts its ice damage, Soft Sand for ground, Assault Vest just for living. But I have seen Choice Band, I think I've seen Lumberry before, but yeah. If I was to make a free agency transaction, I think Mamoswine probably first to go, mainly because it's like it overlaps with many other Pokemon. And spoiler alert, I do not have a Sand Abuser on this team. I don't have Sand Force, I don't have Sand Rush or anything. I have 1 rock type, so it's semi-sand, but it works. Next I wanted Clodsire. Grounded Poison is very important, so you can soak up toxic spikes and stuff, but I did also want Clodsire because it had Water Absorb. My previous 3 are very weak against water. I can't do anything against it, so if there's like a strong rain team or water team, I could bring Clodsire with Water Absorb, but it's usually going to be running Unaware. It's just a nice option to have. It's also a pretty good defensive Pokemon with like very high HP at 130, special defense is 100. Its defense is not that great, but I could work around that. Heavy duty boots, we could get around hazards, leftovers, and black sludge for like recovery. I'm probably gonna be running black sludge over leftovers most of the time because I cannot Terra Clodsire. This was a lower tier point Terra, so a set number. Your opponent like in Terra has to be a set number and below. Oh, it's 9 and below, I believe, and Cloudfire was 12 points. It could also be offensive as well with curves and trick room, all that. Yeah. I drafted Shaman next because I wanted another defensive Pokemon. Shaman is based on 100 all around, so it could like it doesn't excel anything, but it's also not weak in anything. So I could always bring special sets. I could bring offensive sets. I could make a set of super sword stance and stuff. I get healing wish so that I could heal my Pokemon if I need to. Boots will always be a good item because you could avoid hazards. Choice Scarf so that you could outspeed most Pokemon and like hit very hard. Specs is for like Seed Flare. It's the signature move. Is you could boost that damage. Yeah, overall I think I just wanted Shaman because it was a defensive Pokemon, and it was originally not going to be my grass type. I wanted Whimsicott, but mainly because Whimsicott has the fairy typing, and right before I drafted Shaman, we were in the midst of like polling for if we wanted to unban Urshifu. And so because I thought of that, I wanted a fairy type that was not weak to Urshifu or did not like become neutral hits against Urshifu. Stuff like Screamtail, with the psychic typing, it was neutral against Wicked Blow, and others were like just very neutral against it. Whimsicott did resist everything, but I figured like I wanted a more defensive Pokemon, and Shaman was like very much bulkier and all that. So also spoiler, there's no real fairy type on this team. Here's my first Terra Captain, Flygon. Flygon is it's not that great because there's stuff like Garchomp that's better. Even Crocodile's a little better in my opinion because you get Moxie, but it's usually probably gonna be bring a Choice Scarf set because Choice Scarf Earthquake can hit like very great damage and it could outspeed most stuff with base 100 speed, base 100 attack. Its defense is not that great because 80 speed or 80 all around other than attacking speed, but it's not that bad. I chose Terra Ground for extra damage. Terra Steel is and Terra Electric are more defensive, but can also help me against ice types, fairy types, water types that can't really hit well. Yeah. Oh yeah, Flygon was not originally my Terra Captain that I chose. My idea originally was Lycanroc Midnight form. Mainly because like I wanted to use Lycanroc Midnight, gave me a rock type, it would have given me fighting moves, and yeah. But I drafted Great Tusk, so I figured so I figured Lycanroc Midnight was not that good if I drafted Great Tusk. Next Terra Captain was Chandelure. This gave me my fire type. It gives me a ghost type which could block rapid spin. It's also usually probably gonna run Choice Scarf because 80 speed is like very in the middle. But with Choice Scarf I can outspeed a lot of stuff. Fire hits a lot for neutral damage. Ghost is not many resisted. Like everybody's gotta have a normal type. Like I could get around a fire with fire moves, and my Terra I just fire because there's no type that's immune to fire, so that's a little bit better than Ghost. Grass defensive typing, so I could get around the ground type, rock type, and water types. Fairy is just in general a good defensive typing. So that's why I chose it. It's pretty common. Like there was someone else in the draft league They also picked Chandelure. We had multiple divisions. And they chose the same exact Terra typing as I did, so shows that it's not wrong. Next is Inteleon. So in my first two teams, I drafted Thwackey and I also drafted Cinderace. And after I drafted Cinderace, someone made a joke about I am out to get all of the Galar starters. So I figured, why not go along with the joke and just draft Inteleon? It gives me better speed. Oh wait, that's not correct. Oh shoot, I did the wrong spreadsheet. It's 120 speed. 120 base speed. I don't know where I got that. Oh well. Yeah. Special attack should be higher. Oh well. It's the HP defenses are not that great. Base 120 special attack, I believe, or 145. I don't remember. It's most likely gonna be running choice specs, just like maximize damage. With 120 speed, that is faster than most Pokemon, so I can afford to run Modest because like I don't have to worry about most Pokemon outspeeding me, and those that do outspeed me, they have to run Jolly or Timid or speed boosting nature to outspeed me. You'll see in my week 1 when I prepped that comes into play. Scope Lens because Sniper and Snipe Shot. Sniper boosts crit damage, Scope Lens boosts crit chances, and Snipe Shot is a high crit move. So with auto modifiers, that gives me about 50% chance to crit each attack with Snipe Shot. It also gives me like ice coverage, gives me pivot if you turn, gives me dark coverage, ice coverage, I already said ice coverage, and yeah, I think it's just like a strong special attacker in general. Also, my favorite Galar starter. Next is Vikavolt. In my original plan, I didn't want Vikavolt. I didn't have a electric type at all in my original plan. I think it was either Heracross or Conkeldurr who was my idea, but then I drafted Great Tusk, so I did not need the fighting type anymore, and so I drafted Vikavolt. I usually like speedy electric types, but Vikavolt base 43 speed, it's not the speedy type at all. It's great special attack. I did not realize they had like so much special attack. And its defense is not that bad either. It's like 77 HP, 90 defense, like 75 special defense. It's like with some good investments, it could survive a lot of stuff. Electric is great because it helps me beat the water type I'm weak against. Bug helps me beat the grass types. And this is Vikavolt was picked to cover for all of my weaknesses. It could run Volt Switch to pivot around. It's mostly gonna be running Sticky Webs though, because my team is like very much in the middle. I think I have 5 in the 80 speed tier. Let me check real quick. Yeah, no, sorry. Only 3 of my Pokemon are above 90 base speed. So Sticky Webs is gonna help me a lot with that. It slows down other Pokemon that are very fast. It slows down Pokemon to become slower than my slower Pokemon as well. Like with Great Tusk, it's 87 speed. With Sticky Webs, I have not counted, but it can probably outspeed like 95 speed Pokemon. And yeah, it also gives me so I don't have to run Choice Scarf every time on channel, or I can run Choice Specs. Sash just to survive and guarantee Sticky Webs if I'm in lead. Hit Boots to get around hazards, because Stealth Rocks is not great with Vikavolt. Or I could channel gets Trick Room. So I could go with Vikavolt as a Trick Room sweeper with choice specs and stuff. My next pick was Sandslash Alola. So I wanted a Steel type because Steel is a great defensive typing, sometimes offense as well. And yeah, it gives me Rapid Spin, which, yeah, it's my second full Murph removal. And its defenses are not that great, to be honest. Like, sure, its defense is very high, but Ice and Steel is very weak to a lot of combat types. 4 times weak to fighting, 4 times weak to fire, weak to ground, although I'm strong against ground. And yeah. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, it also gives me option like against snow teams because I have Snow Cloak, so I could get a evasion boost, or I can't run Snow Cloak actually. That's unfortunate. I guess Slash Rush. Melon Swine and Sand Slash were my ice counter teams. I was not originally good against Sand Slash. I originally wasn't gonna have a Rapid Spinner at all. I was gonna have Ludicolo because Ludicolo will give me a counter against Rain. But I decided Rapid Spin is good. Leftovers for just extra healing. Boots to get around hazards again. And Focus Sash just so I can guarantee live something and either hit back with strong triple axles or ice shards and knockoffs, or guarantee Rapid Spin as long as there's no ghost type. Yeah, this 65 speed, it's not that great on its own, but if I fight Ice team, a Snow team, I am definitely bringing Sand Slash because Slush Rush and Steel typing is great. My last pick was Honchkrow. So now I, once again, originally did not want Honchkrow. I wanted Altaria, so I get the Dragon typing, which gives me more resistances and immunities, but it was picked right before I drafted. I think it was picked right before I drafted Chandelure, actually. And so, yeah, I want a Defog. Honchkrow does not get Defog. So, after Altaria was picked, I figured I might as well get the flying typing as well to mitigate ground weaknesses. But also, it's not that bad. 125 attack, 100 HP, about 67 speed, I believe. It's not that bad. It gets Moxie, Choice Scarf, so it could be another Moxie Choice Scarf sweeper, Crocodile is, but I don't have Crocodile. It's just another Choice Scarf Pokemon. Also gets Super Luck, so I can run Scopeland Super Luck Night Slash to guarantee crits every time. Even if I don't run Night Slash, I get 50% chance of critting every time. Boots get around Stealth Rocks and all that. Yeah, I think I'm definitely not bringing Honchkrow to every game, but if my opponent has a team that's very weak against flying, or crits would be helpful, I am definitely bringing Honchkrow. So here's my team for the singles league. I don't know if I was originally gonna talk about VGC and singles in the same video, but I think I'll do a separate video. So here's my semi-sand team. I have my Fire Water Grass core. I do not have my Dragon Steel Fairy core. I don't have a Dragon type. I don't have a real Fairy type. Shouldn't look Terra into a Fairy, but that doesn't help me. I have a Steel type, and that's about it. So there is my season 3 Pokémon Paldea Draft League Stocking Porygon singles team. I will see you next week when I battle the Green Bay Grimers. That's what they're called. Yeah. Coached by JJ, I believe. Also, I'll link the Discord, and if anybody has YouTube channel, I'll try to link it down below. For now, huh? That's all.